Petaluma Blacks for Community Development was started 45 years ago. We exist to share Black history and culture through our programs and events that build community, develop our youth leaders, encourage equity and belonging, and celebrate diversity. This year, we started our Black History Month celebration with a jazz concert by Dorian Mode. We created our Black History exhibit and our Black History program. We had a program entitled Art and Conversation at the Sonoma County Museum. Later in April, we had a Black Hair Day and shared what makes our hair special. In August, we had our annual community picnic, and in September, we sponsored a health fair that had 41 health and service providers participate.
Welcome to the 45th anniversary of our Black History program. My name is Dana Grant, and I am excited and honored to be your Mistress of Ceremony this evening.
I just want to thank the current leadership, but special thanks, of course, to the people who formed this community building organization some 45 years ago. Gloria Robertson, and I know Faith Ross was there from the beginning. So on February 7th of this month, the Board of Supervisors did unanimously approve a resolution honoring and acknowledging Petaluma Blacks for community development on the occasion of its 45th anniversary.
I'll let you guys know right now, hip-hop is 50 years. Put your hands together, side to side, side to side. Then they're like, well, where did hip-hop come? James Brown, Bootsy Collins, Sly and them, that guitar, bing, ding, 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 bang, ding, huh. But then there was something that happened, because when our music changes, American music, Black music, African American, Negro, whatever you want to call us, it goes out of struggles, it goes out of changes. So we had this situation that said, boom, ka, ba, boom, ba, boom, ka, boom, ka, ba, boom, ba, boom, ba. You killed Dr. King Hood. Hip-hop comes from the civil rights movement.
Hello, my name is Natalie Rogers. I'm currently the mayor of Santa Rosa, California. Thank you. I am the first Black mayor in the city of Santa Rosa. I am the first female Black vice mayor in the city of Santa Rosa, and the first representative for District 7, which is located in Southwest Santa Rosa.
The Martin Luther King Committee has a speech contest every year, and we are fortunate to have one of the contestants, Layla Parrish.
Hi, I'm Layla, a junior at Rancho Cotati High School, and this is my speech. Power plus love equals justice. Power is influence. It is the ability to influence and direct the lives of people around you. Without love, power turns into greed and dictatorship. Instead of correcting hate, it runs the risk of adding to the hate we already experience, creating more structures and institutions that thrive off of hate. Instead of liberating our community from the structures that are built from that injustice, it ends up hurting more people than helping. People who display this type of power in everyday life end up hurting the people they love the most and end up causing problems for those who seek to help them. Love is human nature. We love the things we care for and the things we believe matter. Love is also an action, the action of devoting yourself to service and helping others. If we don't have power in the way we love, it turns into self-sabotage, helping the people around us but hurting ourselves. Love without power lacks strength and intellect, and it turns a blind eye to nuance. It doesn't stand a chance at rebuilding and correcting structures and behaviors that work off of prejudice. An example of this.
Why should I feel discouraged? And why should the shadows come? And why should my heart be lonely and long for heaven and home?
All right.
My name's Nina Boblet, and I'm part of the Grapevine Youth Leadership Group. Would ask what project we would like to do to express what we have learned about Black resistance. Some of us in Grapevine decided to use poetry.
Hi, I'm Lilia Boyd, and I'm going to be reading Colorblind by Lim Sese. And I chose this poem because it reminds me to be comfortable in my own skin and not let anyone change my perspective on it and myself. If you can see the sepia in the sun, shades of gray in fading streets, the radiating bloodshot in a child's eye, the dark stains on her linen sheets. If you can see oil separate on water, the turquoise of leaves on trees, the reddened flush of your lover's cheeks, the violet peace of calm seas. If you can see the bluest eye, the purple and petals of the rose, the blue anger, the venom of the volcano, the creeping orange of the lava flows. If you can see the red dust of the famished road, the white airtight strike of Nike's sign, the skin tone of a Lucian Freud, the colors of his frozen subjects in mime, if you can see the white mist of the oasis, the red, white, and blue that you defend, if you can see it all through the blackest pupil, the colors stretching and the rainbow suspended, if you can see the breached blue dusk and the caramel curls and swirls of tea, why do you say you are colorblind when you see me?
The theme for our Black History program this year is Black Resistance, from enslavement to the path of freedom. Resistance means not yielding, but standing up, fighting back. Our exhibit shows that from the time the first Africans arrived in the colonies to today, we see the resiliency of our people. The exhibit starts with the first slaves arriving in the colonies in 1619 and has a list of the major slave revolts. We move on to the way in which laws were made to hold our people down. We share information about the Civil War, Reconstruction, and the Jim Crow era. Through all of this, we organized, planned, litigated, protested, and educated ourselves. We are now doctors, lawyers, astronauts, scientists, artists, teachers, major sports figures. We have had our first Black president and now have our first Black woman sitting on the highest court of the nation. All of this is included in our exhibit.
Looks like stars that have aligned to me to create these images. That's kind of the way I look at your art.
Well, the reason for that is I want it to give the appearance that the universe sanctions this subject matter that I'm painting.
Excellent.
But I found out quickly that the black and gold had the best contrast. It worked out the best as far as me trying to tell my story, which is, you mentioned history. I'd like to talk, and I like to deal with history a lot.
The legacy of African American artists has been a continual growth of creativity, reflecting the times and the quality of the imaginations of people who were enslaved, struggled to live daily through hardships where often art was the means to survival.
Illustrated Voices was started with Jordan Fong as executive director, and so he brought a number of artists to come together for an annual show called Think Out Loud and to express how social injustices have affected your life and what is your view of social equality in the future. So during the first show, it really tapped into something deep and we introduced some art full of meaning. And he came to me when I met him at his house. He says, Michael, I really like what you did, and I feel like you should be our exhibition director for our upcoming shows. I was like, thank you. What's the exhibition director?
This painting for me represents fishing with my dad and my brothers in the mountains of New Mexico.
Thank you.
We're fishing for trout, We're there at 5 o'clock in the morning. You can smell the lake, and you know what the fish is going to taste like because you're smelling it in the air. That's what this painting represents for me.
Well, with this one, for example, what you said is there, and whatever you might see is also there. You know, I let the paint teach me, and I just try to be a conduit of the energy. This one in particular, I do see the water, I do see the earth. I see all the natural elements in the universe coming together.
Last fall, the Grapevine leadership became food justice allies by taking over an unused garden located in Santa Rosa. The group worked to prepare 8 beds and carefully selected appropriate seedlings with the goal of providing organic, nutrient-dense foods to our community. Some of the crops were kale, broccoli, lettuce, onions, cabbage, garlic, and strawberries. In total, the team grew 300 pounds of produce, or 1,200 single servings. They share their bounty with SSU Student Food Pantry, Elam Interfaith Food Pantry, Windsor Presbyterian Church Food Pantry, Homeless Action Sonoma, and Redwood Gospel Mission. And there's more to be done. The garden program is a great opportunity for the leadership group to engage with and provide services to our community. We hope to see you in the garden this spring.
We also had the fantastic opportunity to take 15 of our youth to Washington, D.C. this summer for an amazing experience learning about African American history and seeing our government in action.
This summer I got to go on the Grapevine Youth Leadership trip to D.C. and I had a blast. I enjoyed being able to connect with the kids on the trip, and I've never had, a vacation or a trip quite like that, and I really got to learn about my history and different things like that. I guess my 3 favorite things were probably, hanging out with everybody, especially in the hotel rooms at night, and then visiting the Black-owned restaurants and eating there, as well as going to the African American History Museum. I really learned a lot, and this trip opened up new doors for me. I saw Howard University for the first time, and I really liked it, so I may want to apply there in the future. Thank you for granting us money to be able to go on this trip, and I really enjoyed it.
One thing that was very impactful for me on the DC trip would have to be all of the new and cool stuff that I learned and getting to spend more quality time with everyone. And definitely it was a thing to remember for me, and I really hope that we can keep having these cool opportunities, and I know this isn't a thing that happens so often, so I'm very grateful.
Hello, my name is Ademola Ajayi, and some things I liked about the DC trip were the Spy Museum and seeing all the different methods that spies use to collect information, and also the Washington Monument. And overall, the DC trip got me more interested in studying history.
2 of my favorite parts were going to the White House and seeing the history of it, and Black History Museum, because it was kind of interesting to see how people treated Black people in those days.
Hey guys, I'm here to talk about my Washington DC trip and just describe one of my favorite things. My favorite thing would probably be the African American History Museum, and I really enjoyed being able to see all the different just beautiful and really touching sort of stories and history there, and that felt really special, and I'm really glad I got to do that. So yeah.
Something I really liked about the Washington DC trip was the ability to see everything about Black people and everything that's happened to them throughout history, and how some of the figures in our back then helped us get to where we are right now, which really inspired me and impacted me to learn more about everything that's going on. It was like a big surprise when I got to see everything about the element. Emmett Tillman, the museum, that was really something that shocked me. And I'd just like to say this trip was amazing. It was really fun. Thanks.